What's going on, everyone? Astrology Eric Rosen here. I want to talk to you about this last month of Pluto in Capricorn. Hallelujah! This Capricorn is fucking ready. It has been 16, 17 years of getting my ass fucking kicked, basically. I have 5 planets in Capricorn, so 5 placements. Including my sun and moon. Pluto's on my sun right now. I'm a poster child for this shit. So listen the fuck up. This is what is going to be going down this next month, where we're not going to see this again for another 250 fucking years, Pluto and Capricorn, right? The final lesson. What is that final thing that needs to come down in yourself in order for you to be successful, in order for you to get the ultimate victory? And I don't just mean like 3D physical reality. I mean like breaking all limitations. This is about connecting with the ancient understanding of yourself, of your power, of something that transcends even this like modern, reality and the matrix programs that are glitching out right now out there, right? And that we all, invented too. I mean, we all contributed in some way or fashion. But it's also about seeing with this Mars that's going to be coming into an opposition in Cancer. It's in its pre-shadow opposing Pluto. So what does that mean? Number one, Mars in Cancer, it's like we got to slow down, self-care, reflection. It's a character looking in the fucking pond in the movies, right? Sometimes you sing to yourself depending on your mood. Sometimes you're just narrating your thoughts. When it's in its pre-shadow, that means that it's in an area where it's going to be retrograde by early next year in Cancer, because it's going to retrograde in Leo at the end of the year. So things get a little hazy, right? It's like a deep personal life reflection of who am I, where am I going. It's a good time for like slowing down and not taking over action and like losing out on the emotional balance and poise. This also includes, your connection with your family, those ones that are most intimate to you. This also deals very much with the past too. So it's like this oppositional energy. It's like sun, moon, opposed when there's a full moon, right? They illuminate, they see each other really well. Mars, Pluto are seeing each other well. So it's like we're looking at the past history, the last 16, 17 years, and getting that understanding. What is it that finally needs to break fully that hasn't broke yet? And we don't have to charge really hard into it because it is more of a reflective energy. It's like both these planets, Mars and Pluto, deal with like penetration energy. It's like we got to get to the fucking core of who we are, where we're going, right? Especially at a minimum for the next 20 years of Pluto and Aquarius, right? Like this is setting the traditional foundations of the character essence in yourself, based upon how'd you show up, how these last 16, 17 years of challenges went, the integrity of overcoming those challenges and who it made you into, right? So it's like integrating that past understanding, getting to the core essence of who are you, right? This is not, I hate to say this, most people are going to fail this test because most people are like either locked into just the modern reality or even just a fictitious element of spiritual ways of being, like your new age spirituality or, crystals and clothes and just mysticism. Like it's like very surface level. Because that's a whole nother thing too. It's like the false white light stuff that doesn't actually take you deep, right? Mars and Pluto want to get to the core of things, especially Pluto. They want to take you deep. But Mars too in Cancer wants to take you deep. It's understanding a lot of origins. This is a lot of origins, understanding that ancient side of yourself. Now, getting deep means looking at the stuff that can feel filthy too, right? Because it's like chances are those shackles that are holding you back have some like gunk and dirt on them. So this is having to be okay with whether it's like that inner self-saboteur or that person that rather than evolving, forward as a human and connecting to nature to calibrate to the energies coming in, wants to just be stuck on social media or a phone all day and doom scrolling and shit. This brings up emotional bypassing, right? This could even be projections on family, It's big shit. And Capricorn has this very like father energy, and then Cancer very mother, right? But there's like these core penetrative masculine energies with that Pluto and Cancer in both. And so it's almost like can be a little bit of a face off with, dare I say, the mother father energy and even masculine feminine energy, but both come forward in kind of this masculine way of wanting to get to the root of things, right? So number one, I would definitely look at during this time, what were the lessons that your parents taught you, right? And if you're still in victim consciousness with them, you've got some extra homework to do, because this is not what this is fucking about. This is more about going so deep into your ancestral tree of the roots of what needs to heal. You know, this brings up ancestral family tree healing, right? Which has kind of got a little buzzy these past couple of years. And so it's like, you know, and even I got to like adjust this too in myself and align. It's like, you know, actually talking more to the family, actually having those conversations, actually also, you know, doing the real shit too, and not just like the energetic, like purging of this stuff. And working with those parental energies to see what those lessons are. And, you know, if there needs to be some rehabilitation in the roots of things, that Mars and Cancer energy, in order for that Pluto energy to have hopefully a big victorious breakthrough, some type of achievement that can, you know, show up in the 3D reality, but it's also a greater essence than that even. You know, it's doing that work. And then masculine, feminine energies too. You know, there's a lot of friction there. You know, this even brings up the nodes, you know, of North Node in Aries with Chiron and South Node with Libra with the Sun. And so it's like, there's a lot of cardinal points getting activated in astrology. And if you don't know what that means, it's like, those are your four corner zodiac signs that deal with like starting new energy, right? Like, and so these are all feeling very challenged. There's friction, there's tension, there's conflict, right? But opportunities for growth in it. So with that masculine, feminine energy, it's definitely going, okay, and I've been saying this in different ways, but it's like, it's definitely using this energy to go, how do we get into this element of caring for our wounded inner masculine, regardless of whether you're a man or a woman, to be the change that you want, not only out in the world, but also in your relationships. That's actually all I really need to say. That's basically it. It's very much an individual responsibility. I mean, it has been for years, but, you know, even Uranus and Taurus since 2018, it's like, you only grow and evolve if you're able to connect, you know, if you're evolving your own set of worth and value in yourself and knowing how to take those steps that are positive and actually actualize that out in the world. And so, you know, spiritual, it's not Uranus and Scorpio, you know, where it's like, just go be fucking, do sexual freedom and be poly and all this crazy shit. It's Uranus and Taurus of like wholesome values of like stacking the goods of consistently, what are you doing on a spiritual path? And so this last month of Pluto and Capricorn is a big check-in to see who's really willing to dig deep. And the cool thing is like, it's just gonna wanna come up as a reflection anyway. It's really just a matter of who shoves it back into the shadow or not. For those that are less aware, it'll probably manifest as more of a physical event in their life. And then are they gonna be in victim consciousness, or will they actually understand, you know, the law of attraction, or ask those questions like, why is this happening for me, not to me, is a huge one. Because remember, if nothing else, Pluto and Capricorn, it's all about the internal piece of what's inside of us as how things show up, restrictions, challenges, winning, losing, all this different stuff in our own lives and out in the world as well. So if it's like you feel like you're under the gun, you feel like you're challenged, you feel like there's scarcity, right? All these hard, harsh Capricorn things, where within yourself can you own more of your power? And so Mars is going to be there to help, to go, there's probably some deep stuff in your personal life to show that maybe the way that you show up in the world and the way that you are in your personal life don't match, and that's a huge no-no, because you got to fix that shit immediately. And if you're feeling stuck, look at the family roots of things, you know, where you come from, where you want to go. It's good energy for, you know, people having a therapist if you don't have one already, or at least someone to talk to that reflects back ways you can overcome the challenge. It isn't just like validating your victim consciousness, like, you know, like a friend who's also in that area. And shout out to the very few people that I feel like are doing this deep work. I mean, it feels very slim. I hate to say it, but it's like 1%. It's like the 1%ers that are like, yeah, you know, spirituality is all about being empowered and finding love and compassion and grace through the challenges and the mistakes, and still in this energy showing the fuck up and helping people. You know, and, you know, Jupiter's the original ruler of Pisces, where Neptune's at, that's still making slight aspects of this Pluto. So it's like it's boundless in terms of the beliefs that can be had. But I think this astrology is pointing to, I don't want to say more of a rigid one, but more of a, like, the scoreboard still matters. Like, how are you actually really physically showing up in the world, not spiritually bypassing. Pluto's also making light aspects to that Uranus too, and Taurus. So it's like, you know, more of this outer planetary spiritual energy and physical reality, but also subconscious, you know, tune the programs in your mind if you want to go somewhere else. And definitely don't get hung up on, if you guys are getting hung up on Diddy and the politics and this thing and that, you're fucking up. I'm sorry. You're a fucking dumb fuck. Because what are you really doing with that? What are you actually fucking doing with that? Like, there's enough whistleblowers. There's fucking Russell Brand and fucking there's all these people that will talk about this shit anyway. Like, what is it doing? What value is it actually adding to your fucking life? I had to learn this lesson years ago, and I'm getting on my soapbox here, but it's like, the more that I looked into the outer world, the more I had to accept that when I was triggered, it was because it was about something within me personally, and I had to go in and heal that shit. Eventually, you get tired of saying, look at the Matrix program, look at what it's doing, and you realize that it is actually, you're still in the Matrix because you're afraid to actually do something great in your own life if you're not doing something, and then you're going and doing that. Now, if you're already doing great things in your life and you're highlighting that, cool, great. Bang that fucking drum that you march to, that's yours and personal, with Mars opposed Pluto. But if you're just on social media looking at that stuff, I'm not trying to make you feel bad about yourself. I'm trying to tell you that it's 1 month left of Pluto in Capricorn, and if you don't think that the harshest lessons come to those like that feel like they're at the bottom and not doing stuff, like, you know, you got to show up to it. The best part about this energy is because there are several planets retrograde, and even Sun and, you know, South Node in Libra, it's like, you know, like Mars in shadow. Like, it's nice Venus is in Sagittarius, so we can still go explore and learn and grow and research and do new things and find positivity and socialization in life. But all in all, this astrology is like, in a lot of ways, like, can feel like it's ramping up, but it's really slowing down, especially on a personal level. So finding the right track to your life of what to achieve actually just looks a lot like what does slowing down look like for our modern-based reality. It's probably less stimulus. Jupiter retrograde in Gemini thing is teaching us, like, did you have enough yet? Did you get enough data since fucking late May? Are you overwhelmed and overstimulated yet? Do you want to try a different approach to your life to see maybe it's only information you need to take in that's actually beneficial for the experience that you want to have in your life? You know, and seeing, like, are you actually taking in stuff that actually fits where you're at in your belief system to be successful? You know, it's the basics. It's like it's slowing down energy. It doesn't have to necessarily mean doing less. It's more about working smarter, not harder, which is going to be a huge thing come mid-January next year with the node shifting, South Node, Virgo, North Node, Pisces. But it's like this is very much this time to go, you know, you can't get those inner reflections that I was describing earlier and understand what deeply needs to shift to get this final lesson, to get to, like, this is big, guys. This is like long-term stuff. This isn't just like hitting your monthly quota stuff. This is like revolutionary shit in your soul of like where it's gonna go, you know, like even for the next 250 years, which means like you're setting up karmic consequences for any potential future incarnations as a soul. So it's not to scare you. It's just like slow down, find your rhythm, find the spiritual flow, connect, and you'll be shown what that is, you know? But like being overstimulated and being like, what's P. Diddy doing? What's the war doing? What's this doing? What's that doing? What's that gonna do? Is that taking you deeper to an essence of your soul and your family origin understandings? And, you know, I mean, maybe if you've got a lot of like Jewish ancestry or something, or, you know, the war over there hits like different, but again, you're still bringing it back home to yourself of how is it showing up on a personal reality. So off the soapbox now, let's talk about my astrology school that I did back in 2022. I've been having more people asking about it lately, so let's talk about it again. 10 plus hours of recorded content teaches you everything from the basics of astrology, like literally just the ancient origin understandings of the planets, the sun, the moon, the zodiac signs, all the way up to how you can literally pull up your own chart or even a chart for others and actually learn to interpret it and read it in the way that I do, and like get you going at like practicing astrologer, like novice level. And the more you practice, the more you become an expert. I know a lot of people like to go out and research astrology and they want to know more, and it feels complicated. So I put it into a course where you can actually take your time and systematically digest it. And of course, as always, if you want to get a reading, that link will be down below. 1 month left of Pluto in Capricorn. So if you want to find out what that means for your zodiac sign, you can click on that link down below. Did it for all 12 signs. And then for anyone that just wants to learn about their natal chart in a do-it-yourself fashion, there's a $33 ebook link that will be down below. It's a 100+ page ebook. It goes deep into all the different placements in your chart. So love you all, even though it may not sound like it, because, you know, I got really Mars and fucking Pluto like, you know, and called some motherfuckers out about where you put your attention. I mean, I do it too. I slip up too. It's part of the human journey, but I will tell you that that's why it's the importance of knowing your astrology, you know, because I know for me, it's like the way forward as Capricorn, Taurus rising. It's like creativity and deep inner reflection. So it's like going deep into my personal reflections that I'm creating. It's like if I start wasting time in areas that are frivolous and doesn't fit the experience and the reality I want to have, it feels like shit. So you have to know what keeps you on track in your life, which I know can be a challenge because Pluto and Capricorn can feel like every day is a new set of challenges. We got to find a new like rhythm in our, you know, work life with Uranus and Taurus too, and just all these things. But it's like, nothing can feel straightforward, North Node, Chiron and Aries, but this is very much tuning your frequency to your intuition and or knowing your astrology, or at least your human design something, which I do those too. If you want to get a reading on that, I'll pop a link for that too. You get to a place where you embrace the uncertainty, because that's really what this is all about. Love you all. See you on the next video.